Hi, it's LindaLee, and I am playing with my inks, and we're trying to figure out how to use or what to use for my Carpetbagger Journal. The requests for colors were primarily purple, an indigo purple, which is a dark purple, and then also black as a secondary color. So the dark purple is proving a little hard to find, but I did get two different purples today, and I started to play and I figured I'd turn on the camera so you guys can kind of see as well. But they didn't have ink in this Dusty Concord, so I got the Oxide, which is a little more concentrated pigment-wise than I was expecting. But at the same time, this is what it looks like on the stencil. But see, look at all the color that's on my stencil. So, but it's water-soluble, so I can wash it off. But I've never used either one of these, so it's kind of like almost an unboxing because it's a surprise. I don't know what's really happening here. And then I have these two inks that I had gotten like around Christmas time that I haven't really used yet. Black Soot and Vintage Photo. I know Vintage Photo is really popular, but I actually like the Gathered Twigs a little bit better color-wise for the browns. So I've been using Gathered Twigs and the Walnut Stain lately. But I'm going to take these out and kind of see how they look as well, how intense they are with color, figure out which one is going to be the better one for like my distressing around the edges, and maybe which one for stenciling. So I'm going to play a little bit. So come and play with me. I don't know, really. This deep purple, I'm hoping that this is going to be kind of more of what we really need. I'm going to just go ahead and ink my text, and I'm just going to stamp it out. I want to see how intense the color is. Now this is an archival ink, so it is permanent. It is waterproof, where the Oxide is not waterproof. That will react to water. So that's pretty dark. It almost doesn't even look like purple, does it? Let's do it on white instead of the coffee dyed. So I like the color, whether it's really intense or it's the second and third stamping. This is more what I would probably use in the background, you know, around the edges. But let's see. This one is for purple. I want to see what this looks like on an edge. I don't know that I'll do a lot of distressing with the purple because it's supposed to be kind of vintagey, but at the same time, I think I am going to use it a bit. I like it. This Oxide, though, I've never really used Oxides that much. I'm gonna, with ink, of course I have oxide already on the stencil, so it's probably just blurring and blending. Doesn't seem all that dark. Oh boy. Alright, let's take a look at these. So this is my vintage photo. I like to play with my inks and stuff before I really use them, just so I kind of know what am I using. This is gathered twigs. That's not what I really wanted to do. I want to try this vintage photo. Let's see what it looks like. Let's try it on here first. I like it, I like it. Not as dark as the gathered twigs or the walnut, so it's a little more subtle, especially on the coffee dye. And black soot. Do I have another one of these little guys for the black? I don't think so. I'm going to have to use a little sponge. I think I have. This one I've never really used for anything. It's just been touched by others. Oh, that's pretty dark, huh? So this black soot is an actual ink. It's not an oxide. But I like it too. So let me see what this little black looks like with this little stamp. I don't use a lot of stamps, but I do have some cool ones that I might use with this. So let's stamp that off and try the vintage photo. Especially on the coffee dye. See, I like the browns better. Pardon my arm. Let's try the walnut. So vintage photo looks really good. So I'm going to definitely use the vintage photo. Just making sure I'm putting the right lid on it. The black soot, I don't know about this one. Now, as far as the ink goes, where's this? So let's stamp this off. I want to try the dark. Okay. So we're definitely going to use this deep purple and the vintage photo. The walnut, if I need something a little darker, I think is going to be a good choice. Let's see what this looks like on the coffee stain paper. Yeah. Okay, I think I have it worked out. The only thing is I don't know for sure about the oxide, when or where I'm going to use it. I might have to play a little bit with it first. The black soot gave me really, really good dark. This here was which one? This was Gathered Twigs, right? Okay. All right, so I got that kind of worked out. The only thing I don't know for sure about is the oxide. It's not dark enough, but I can probably still use it somewhere else. Or because it's an oxide, maybe I can play with some water and at least, like, you know, tint or color up some white papers. Let me see if I can get this wiped off real quick. I don't really have any water in here. I have my drinking water in here, but I don't have any other water at the moment. How easy that came off. All right. All right, I can clean that later. Sorry about that, guys. I got distracted for a second. But I'm glad that we did this, because now I know. So I know for certain that vintage, walnut, and deep purple, I'm definitely going to use these three. The ruling is still out on the oxide and the ink. I think if I had been able to get the oxide color in an ink, I would be a little happier with it. I don't know. But cool, huh? All right, so now the other thing that I want to do is look at my fabrics. I forgot to start a timer so I know how long I've been on. But I guess it really doesn't matter. 'Cause I just want to keep, my mom keeps complaining that my videos are too long, that people don't want to sit here that long. I told her she doesn't understand. Crafters like to hang out, and especially if they're crafting, it gives you something to watch instead of, you know, just watching something for a half hour and then finding another video. At least that's how I am. I like to watch something for, you know, an hour, 2 hours. So I'm just going to move. Actually, I'm going to put all this stuff on the side. And there is no easy way to go through my fabrics with me. So I have a big old tote next to me. I'm just going to bring them up so you can see what it is I have. And then I'm going to just set them on the floor. And then I can, you know, stockpile it back in the tote later. I have resolved myself to probably having to dye whatever it is I find fabric-wise. So I'm just looking for an appropriate fabric. It doesn't have to necessarily be the right colors, because I'm going to try and make it the right color. I couldn't find anything that said dark purple or indigo purple, which is the actual request. But with indigo purple and black being the secondary color that she actually selected, anything that I dye is going to be darker because I don't really have any white. So we're going to play. It probably won't be on this video, but I'll definitely do it on another one. And maybe we'll put them together. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm not a big editing guru just yet. So I'm just moving my brushes and let's start going through some fabric. Oh, I wanted to try the screen on the... So I have lots of fabrics. Some of these you might recognize because I've shared quite a few of them. The tote that I'm going through right now is mostly pieces. Now, Carpetbagger is, remember their luggage look like bags that were made out of carpets. So that's pretty much what I'm looking for. Not necessarily something that's, all pretty and something like this. But this is so dark that I don't think it will take to the dye. But this is something that could potentially look like it was a carpet. Maybe. It might be a stretch. But that's kind of more along the line of what it is I'm ultimately looking for, is something like that. See, I have lots of light colors. Light colors, light colors. These are all just duplicates of each other. And pink, we don't want pink. This is a curtain. Wrong kind of fabric. Wrong color. This here is chenille. Potentially the right fabric, but purple dyeing over yellow would probably make more of a brown color, and I don't want brown. These wouldn't take good to a purple dye because again it would be more brown. Move this over here. So this would be a good fabric. I think I have a bigger piece of it somewhere. I'm not sure if this red would turn more purple or if these would turn more purple and this would be more dark brown. If I can find the bigger piece of this, that might be the ticket. No. Somebody sent me this fabric. I don't remember who it was, but I've been kind of cherishing it. And I haven't used it yet, but it's so sweet. This fabric will not take to dye very well. At least not what we're doing. Let's put this underneath. Move it aside. This would be good if it was a different color. Wonder how this would take to the purple dye. I guess it probably would depend on how long. Now this I think is a cotton fabric. Let's see if it says on the edge it all somewhere. And that's another thing. Some of them that I have that are kind of upholstery type are dry clean only. So an original copyright design. And it looks like I cut it. So I don't know what kind of fabric it is. But wrong color. So, And I got some laces. We don't want to even look at those. Piece of wedding dress. This here would dye purple, but it doesn't look like a carpet. So here's more of the curtain. Yellow tablecloth. That won't work. Here's some more white fabric. I don't know what kind of fabric this is, but it's much lighter. I don't think this would work real well as a cover. Too thin, too fragile. This is my melting fabric. Well, this might work. It's worth a try to dye. It doesn't necessarily look like a carpet, but it's got the stitching, which is kind of cool. Can you see it? Bring it up close to you. I got a couple pieces of this. Let's see. This is more white fabric, but not what we want. Well, here we go. This looks more like a wallpaper than it does a carpet. But I wonder how it would dye. If this would take purple, or if it would turn it a brown and then just this lighter part would be purple. It's big enough for a cover. So put that in the maybe pile over here. We're eliminating these now. And what else do I have? We don't want camouflage. I've got linen tablecloth. It would take to the dye. Probably almost like a white because this is linen. So it would probably work really well with the dye. But well, that's not gonna work. There's a napkin, so I could maybe try a napkin. Is this big enough though? That's not big enough. I don't think. Where's a piece of paper? So if we open up this piece of paper, that's big enough. I guess I could try it. Right? I'm really starting to like that purple even more, even though it's not dark like requested. Jewel, where do you find indigo purple? I don't know. More pink. Green. This would be awesome for a Botanical type cover. I think I've sent this fabric to a couple people too. I redid a stool with this fabric as well. I love it. But it's a good healthy piece, so I'll have enough for a different project. And this, so if the blue took to the purple, the brown would just get darker brown, and I wonder what would happen to the metallic thread. It might be worth trying to dye this too. I don't know. I don't know how well this will do in water. This potentially could be like a dry clean only fabric. Oh well. It's just fabric, right? What else? What else? What else? What else? There's my purple. But it's just solid. I wonder. Not that one. Here is the bigger piece that I had of that other fabric, the red one with the purple. There's little bits of purple already in it. What do you think? Does it look like a carpet? Like it could be a piece of a carpet? Kinda, huh? What's this? I'm not sure what that part was, like the edging of something. More pink. Oh, I love this one. Isn't this a pretty fabric? Not what we want, but isn't this cool? I've sent this out to somebody too. I like this. I might be able to cut little pieces out of it. Not the cover, but I could use pieces of the fabric, kind of like fussy cut. Not this one. And this is an old shirt. I forgot I had this fabric. How shiny. I was going to do some pillows for my mom. I do have one pillow that she asked me to cover right now that she has on her bed. But I was going to use these too. If you can see the little sequins. I'm not sure how well this is photographing, but it's like right in your face now, isn't it? Because I'm getting so much fabric on the table. But it's definitely not something we're going to use now. So, well, I've got more, but nothing nothing better than what we see here. So I think I'll cut a piece of this, big enough for a cover. And what I'm going to dye is a piece of this. We're going to fussy cut a little bit of stuff that's on here. I could throw a piece of it in the dye, though. I'm going to have, you know, at least a gallon's worth of dye. I'll keep that close to the top somewhere, I guess. But we're definitely going to dye this. I can't tell if that's a green or a blue. I think it's more of a blue. If it's a blue, it'll take the purple dye, and then the dark stuff will just get darker, so it'll be a darker brown. It might even look black, because remember her colors were purple and black. There's not going to be a lot of black in it, just because I don't have a lot of black. And I'm going to throw this in the dye pot. I'm going to throw this in the dye pot. And throw this in the dye pot. And I think we're just going to see what comes out the best. And go from there. I'm really hoping, though, that either this one or this one come out well. I really like this one. But it just depends on how intense this purple is, I guess. So, thank you for hanging out while we kind of did all that. Played with my inks and played with pulling out some fabrics. Now I gotta try and fit it all back in the box. Have you ever done that? So, I don't know. The video, I guess, is kind of on the shorter side, so I could probably maybe tag on the dye part of it. I just have to work out how that's all going to happen at the oven or the sink or whatever. So, probably a separate one though, my friends. This is it for now. And there'll be another one in another day or so. And we'll work out a few more details. But we got kind of my inks figured out. And hopefully one of these fabrics will work. If the fabrics don't work to my satisfaction with this purple dye, then we're just going to do it, paper. We're just going to do it with paper. And I can figure it out. So it won't be Carpetbagger, it'll just be vintage. But I really want to do this carpet stuff. So, have a great evening. Or day, depending on when you watch this. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great night. Bye-bye.